Visit the other rundown of our reality channels on BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey for content that YouTube won't publish. Videos like medbeds, quantum entanglement, and your digital copy, or the ritual sacrifice of Matthew and Johnny Goudreau. The links are in the description.
This is something that you guys might appreciate. So antediluvian time, the corruption across the earth, right? So the giants were eating everyone out of everything, right? All their food. The giants, as it says in the Book of Enoch, man couldn't keep them sustained. So they turned on man and started eating man. Right? Everybody's with me?
Yep.
So then here's the entire earth was corrupted except for Noah and his family. This is what I think was going on, because the giants were all battling each other and they were falling and dying. Well, when a giant dies, what are they leaving behind?
A big imprint.
Meat.
Oh.
So if you're starving, if the population is starving, they cut up the meat from the giants. And then eating this giant meat, they corrupt themselves.
I don't know if that's too good.
Well, I don't want to comment on its tastiness. All right, anyway, so this is what got me thinking down this path. The Himalayan salts, right? You've seen the Himalayan salt mines. They look like layers of flesh. Himalayan salts are high in metals and all that sort of stuff. So feeding us ancient giant tissue is the same type of corruption that was happening in the days of Noah. And then I was watching a Netflix show on Zeus and the Greek and the gods. It wasn't chaos. It was this one was a animation. And what did the one main character, one of the main characters, the bad guy, what did he do to get his powers? He ate upon the flesh of a giant, and then he was corrupted completely, but he got powers from eating that flesh, and how he was driven to eat that flesh to get revenge, to have the power to get revenge upon who wronged him, and I think killed the woman that his mother figure, or might have killed the woman he loved. I can't remember now. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I betcha that's what they're showing there. Anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting thought on corruption, because corruption can also happen through what we eat. And if we're eating giant flesh, half angelic, half man flesh, because everyone is starving, instead of turning to God, they're turning into cannibals. And anyway, all right, I'm done.
Are you saying this this happened pre-flood, before the flood?
Yeah. Okay. So how the earth could so quickly become all corrupted everywhere, because everyone was starving. It just became easy to eat the giants as they died, to feast, to get your sustenance that way. And Noah didn't participate in that. That line didn't participate in that abomination.
When it petrifies, does it look like Himalayan pink salt? Or when it petrifies, does it look like stone? Like, pick one.
I will say that this picture looks like you're inside the fleshy innards of like a Titan or something like that.
It really does.
It's freaking wild.
This, more than anything else, I'm like, am I allowed to believe my eyes or not? Like, I know nature rhymes, but holy sh... and so we would want to look at a spectral analysis and see what some of those trace minerals if
Would
they were
be.
there or not.
So you'd have sodium chloride plus the minerals would have to match up to the human body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So right here in this spectral analysis from semanticscholar.org, we have at the very top is the control. It's just iodized white table salt. It's the most salty of the salts. So it shows that in that control group of the iodized white salt, it has some calcium, not a lot. It has some magnesium, not a lot. It has some potassium. Mostly it is sodium. Himalayan pink salt, and there's this whole analysis. Every single one of these is just different brands of Himalayan pink salt that
But they're
are
all
being
fairly
compared.
in the same range.
So the calcium in the control is 400. Calcium in the Himalayan is closer to 3,000-4,000 in most of these. That's one. Calcium is one in the human body you'd expect to see more of. Iron is one, and iron is the reason it would be pink. Iron from the blood. You do see some iron in pink salt when it is not present in regular white table salt.
It's a literal 0 on the table salt, and we're getting up to between 80 to 150 on the Himalayan pink salt.
Magnesium, and I'm not a scientist, so do with these numbers what you will. I'm not going to pretend I really understand exactly what's going on here, but magnesium is something that is present in the original table salt at 83, 84, but closer to 3,000. 2,000, 3,000 in these Himalayan pink salts. That's another human body one. Potassium is another one where it gets up 3,000, 4,000 when it's only 150 in the original. It's certainly got a lot more body
Minerals.
body elements than normal salt. That's as much as I can do with it. But it was interesting to me that when I had the conversation with Cactus, she was like, "You would expect to see iron, you'd expect to see calcium, you'd expect to see magnesium," and indeed, when we looked at the spectral analysis, those things were there and much higher than regular salt.